Hey there. Okay, today I am diving right in because I have a lot of information I want to get to in a short amount of time. Today's episode is all about lead generation. It is probably the number one topic that comes up during all of my coaching calls. I see it all the time on Facebook is how do I find more leads? How do I get more people into my business? How do I find clients, right? So first, I want to talk about ways you can actually, what can you do for lead generation? First of all, what are some ways that you can actually generate leads? Okay, so you see all these different things about having a lead magnet. You can have a lead magnet, and your lead magnet can be a variety of different things. It can be a PDF, it can be a checklist, it can be a mini course. Your lead magnet can simply be your email newsletter. If you want to use and send like an email out to, like, I have my secret small doses email newsletter where you guys get those extra podcast episodes that are trainings, more like really dialed in trainings. That's a lead magnet, right? Actually getting them to sign up to the newsletter is my lead magnet. That's it, right? They get it every other week in their inbox, so you can use that. It can be a mini training. Your lead magnet can essentially be any of the above, okay? So you have to really think. Again, if you listen to the episode prior, I talked about being in alignment with yourself, right? So what is it that you want to do, and how do you best serve your clients? How do you want your clients to learn from you, right? A lead magnet is designed to give your audience what they're looking for, solve a problem that they're having. Well, how do you solve their problems? How do you best serve? That's how you need to create a lead magnet, okay? It doesn't have to be anything one specific. PDFs don't work any better than newsletters or trainings. Again, they all work. It's just a matter of how you present them, okay? So there's lead magnets. That's one idea for lead generation. Number two, offline. Get offline. Stop hiding behind your keyboard. Do some networking. If you can get to in-person networking events are great. If you are not in an area where there's a lot of in-person networking events, try to find online networking events. There's a lot of great online networking events, whether it's, I think one of the newest ones is like the speed networking, where you just get to talk to a bunch of people and you share your information. There's this Happy Neighborhood Project, which is a huge online networking. It's all over, that's global. You can do that. You can simply network. You can join like a closed networking. So there's a lot, like I said, there's online or offline, or in person. You can also just do coffee chats. If you're in my Facebook group, I talk a lot about the power of coffee chats. And what I mean by that is simply getting on the phone and just having a chat, as if you were at Starbucks saying, hey, we should meet for coffee sometime, right? Like, go back to the days when you did do some in-person networking, or when people used to. And then you'd say, hey, let's meet for a cup of coffee. Love to learn more. The same holds true in the online space, okay? You need to be doing some kind of coffee chat. Take the conversation offline. So even if you're networking, like, again, it's this face-to-face conversation. Having a conversation, whether it's through Zoom, whether you can do it in person, that's up to you, okay? Number three, Facebook groups. I did a episode on this as well. Like, is it worth it for you to have a Facebook group? There's a lot that goes into it. So if you're wondering about that, go back to that episode. But again, like, Facebook groups can be a great lead generator, right? Because you can ask questions when people join them. You can make them exclusive content inside of your Facebook group. You can allow for promotion if you want. You can really get to know people. Again, it really depends on what you want out of it from a community perspective, but they can be a great way to generate leads because it's a closed circle of people, right? You have this closed audience of people that are there, that want to be there. They joined your Facebook group because they want to learn from you. So the more information and the more value you can put into these people, the better. It's also a great and easy intro to having coffee chats with all the members, right? You can ask questions, you can collect email addresses, make sure you do it legally. Make sure you're linking privacy policy and you're not adding people if they don't want to be added, okay? That's just a small disclaimer. But Facebook groups can be a great lead generator, okay? Again, there's a strategy behind all of these things, and I'm going to get to that. All right, and then number 4, masterclasses. These free masterclasses, they used to be called webinars, and essentially they're the same thing, but webinars were super sales pitchy. They were, everybody kind of got over that, where masterclass is more like, here's my specific topic, and I'm going to teach you information on that. So I did a masterclass on how to use Masterclass for lead generation. Okay, you can grab that link if you want it, comment, let me know, I'll get it to you. But you can do a masterclass on anything. You can do a masterclass on, I had a client that did a masterclass on why you need a website versus just social and ways to drive traffic to your website. That's a need her audience had. Again, she got 12 signups. That's 12 leads, right? Masterclasses can be great lead generators, okay? Now, here's the thing. Every single one of these, there's a next step, right? All of the lead magnets in the world aren't going to do you any good if there's no next step. What is the next step for these people once you get them in? This is where you're missing the link, most of you. Most of you, this is where it drops off, is that there's no strategy behind the lead magnet. Great, you're building this audience, now what? So before you just start promoting a new lead magnet or creating some kind of new lead magnet, you have to think about what is the strategy beyond that. Do you want to send out an email newsletter? Do you want to connect with them through coffee chats? Do you want to have conversations? Are you going to engage on their content? Do you have a follow-up system in place? Do you have a CRM where you can track them, etc., right? Like, because having a bunch of leads that you don't have anything to do with after the fact doesn't do you any good. That's where one of the missing pieces from lead to client. All right. Now, next thing is you have to promote them more often. Most of the time, what I see is somebody put something out there once, maybe they put it out there once a month, but it's not that often. You have to let people know that you have this lead magnet or this training or this networking event. You have to attend it regularly. It's all about consistency, right? Show up and share it consistently. At minimum, once a week, you should be talking about your lead magnet, whether it's a PDF, whether it's a course, whether it's a masterclass, your Facebook group, whatever lead magnet you choose, which, by the way, you don't need all of them. You only really need one, maybe two. If you were looking for kind of some A/B testing and you want to check some data, but you don't need more than a couple, but you need to be sharing it at least once a week. And don't tell me that's too much, because it's not. Your audience is constantly changing. The algorithm is constantly changing. What people are seeing when they're online is constantly changing. So you need to be doing it more often, okay? Show up consistently and share it, all right? So these are your action items, right? If I'm going to give you action items at the end of every podcast, I want you, 1, pick 1 or 2 styles of lead magnet that you want to use and you want to stay consistent with for the next couple of months. Now, remember, lead magnets can be trial and error. You might put something out there and see how your audience responds. When you have one that they are responding to, stick with it. Don't change it. Don't change it. Stick with it, okay? And then share at least once a week. I want you to create a habit checklist, some kind of checklist. Did I share my lead magnet this week? If you can't check that box every single week on Friday or whatever day you want to choose to do it, get out there and start sharing your lead magnet more often. If you want to generate leads, you need to share your lead generator more often, all right? And network. Get out there and network. Put your face in front of people. Get your name in front of people. You want people seeing your name and your face. The more they see your name and your face, the more they're going to remember you. The more they remember you, the more they can refer you, right? Get your name out there. You might think it's annoying, but it's not. People need to see you show up consistently and repetitively with the same message. So do more of it. That is the number one thing. Pick your lead generator and then promote it more often. Those are the 2 key pieces to lead generation, okay? Whether it's a PDF, like I said, PDF, mini course, newsletter, a training, some offline networking, in-person networking or online networking, but where you're actually face-to-face with people, not hiding behind a keyboard. A Facebook group can be a great lead generator if it's interesting to you. Masterclass, etc. Pick 1 or 2, stick with it, be consistent with it, and promote it more. and I guarantee you're going to start seeing more leads. Okay? Talk to you soon.